नीचे दिए हुए लाल बटन पर क्लिक करके इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें और घंटी के बटन को क्लिक करना ना भूलें। बीकेटी मीडिया प्राइवेट लिमिटेड। Namaskar, this is Shilpa Bhawana and I welcome you in your favorite program, Chartered Accountants The Growth Gears. It is presented by the Committee for Members in Industry and Business, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India.
Chartered accountants are very well known for having knowledge regarding how business is set up, how it is run competitively to make profits not only for its investors but also to contribute to the government through taxes and to pay back to the society through CSR, and by creating multiple employment generation options and many more. These are the reasons which make chartered accountants the growth bearers towards nation and economy in true sense.
Responsibility is important because it provides the sense of purpose, the purpose that caters to the society as a whole. But at the same time, development needs to take place. So what do you think? The term like responsible development, does it exist? Yes, it does. Today we are making you to meet the President and Director of India's leading paper manufacturing companies, JK Paper. Guess what? He's a chartered accountant, CA A S Mehta.
A S Mehta is a par excellence chartered accountant with the clear vision of creating a sustainable ecosystem for business. Having experience of around 4 decades, CA A S Mehta is continuously adding value, not only to the stakeholders but also to the profession.
Sir, most welcome to the show.
Thank you for this opportunity, and I am also grateful to the Institute and the committee for this talk show.
Entirely our pleasure to have this interaction with you.
Thank you so much.
Sir, to start with, when we talk about chartered accountants, they are the ones who are trained to prepare the authenticated documents. And if I am talking about you, the position you are holding up today, so you are not only doing this, but you are also creating an ecosystem to create that papers on which the authentication is being done. So JK Paper, it's a brand, sir. So how that rustle and when it attracted you?
See, in fact, I started my journey as a chartered accountant and to be very honest, as an accountant at our tire plant first. It was way back in the early 80s when I started at tire plant. But I thought that just accounting is not good enough for me. And so I need to be much more than an accountant.
So your aspirations were really high.
Yes. But I tell you, the accounting was in my blood. I've seen my great-grandfather and he was accountant with the princely state in Udaipur, Rajasthan.
Oh, wow.
So that accounting is in the family. It is in
so
the
that
blood.
runs in the blood.
Yes. So after almost 25 years working with JK Tire, the management felt that I can do much more in marketing because my understanding of market and my understanding of the financial was pretty sharp. So then I was made marketing director of JK Tire. Thereafter, I thought that I have added great value for JK Tire. So what next?
Yeah.
It was felt that I can take position of heading a business. So then the question came, where?
Where?
There were 2-3 proposals that time, and I thought that it is better for me, I moved to JK Paper, and this is how I landed in the sphere of paper.
As now you have landed into this sphere of creating this business now, not only to create but just to take off this business. So I would like to ask you, sir, as you are here, you are right now targeting for the expansion of market share. So do you see your qualification is going to be a boon for you for this particular purpose?
The qualification is a fantastic value creator for my role. We create value for all the stakeholders.
Yes.
And who understands value better than a chartered accountant? So this is what I think that my total training, education and the qualification is a great help in discharging this responsibility because people think that I have some kind of a special quality in me where I can play with the figure at any point of time.
Yeah, and that's a core quality of a chartered accountant.
Yes.
Yeah.
In fact, when I used to be the chairman of the committee for the tire association, that time also most of the time I was the industry spokesperson.
Wow.
When I came to paper business, in 2 years time, I was the vice president of the Indian Paper Manufacturers Association.
And today you are the
And
president?
thereafter I became the president, and I will
Yeah.
be the longest serving president of the association.
Wonderful.
And most of the time, whenever I am with the government bureaucrat, ministers or any platform, I mean, I'll be talking much more on the industry, all numbers, all figure and everything.
So if you don't have the clarity in mind, you can't
Absolutely.
speak. So friends, it's very much right that even in the life, whatever work we are doing along with our professional careers and even in our personal individual lives, it is very important to have a clarity in mind, because once we have a clarity, then we can work towards that vision, we can work towards the goal, and actually we can attain it. So I know that after your joining in, you have actually created the expansion of turnover and the profits and everything. It has actually increased. So what do you have to say about that growth? That you owe it a lot to your qualification as well?
As a qualification, it adds value. The way, I mean, you need to lead the team, the way you need to prioritize the things.
And
These
the
are-
way you actually understand that problem very well, I think
Yes.
that helps.
Absolutely. In fact, in the paper industry, the biggest issue, outside and inside both. Outside, it is the general perception that you are damaging greening.
Yes.
The industry is known that you are cutting trees.
Yes.
So this is the outside perception. The inside perception again, because the raw material is wood, and the wood, unless you have a very, very clear priority of the wood creation,
Yes.
the raw material, the source creation, I mean, you can't be successful.
Yes.
And this is what I decided in my first 10 days at plant location, that this is my topmost priority. The second priority was, these are very highly capital intensive plants. So you need to be very, very precise in your project management. And again, the numbers and the qualification helps, because you are
Yes.
very, very update on your numbers. How much are we spending? Where are we spending? Is it creating value? Is it just a fancy of the engineers? Because please understand,
Ji.
the plant people, all the engineers, they have the fancy of technology. And this is where you need to create a balance. That is, the fancy of technology will create value for the customer and the shareholder, or they are the fancy of the engineers. This is where a chartered accountant can play a role
Yes.
to have a decent technology which will add value to shareholder as well as the business.
Creating a proper balance over there.
We do more than 35,000 acres of plantation every year.
Wow, people would just, as you said, na, that the outer perception, it is just that like you are manufacturing paper, that means you are, it is just costing to the environment, but at the same time you are working for the solution as well. That's great, sir.
In fact, on every piece of paper when we sell in the packets, we write that when you buy a packet, we are planting a tree.
Oh, wow.
We are not cutting tree. Farmer, he has options.
Gee.
He has option to go for paddy, he has option to go for wheat, he has
Exactly.
option for cotton. So if I am working with a farmer, I must give them the option to have a better revenue model.
Yes.
Because again, this is a chartered accountancy,
Yeah.
because I need to work for a farmer.
Regulating the profession of accountancy, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India maintains highest standards in technical and ethical areas for members and students both.
In the Chartered Accountancy course, we teach our students accounts to help Board of Directors get accounts of their companies prepared. We also teach them corporate laws to help the board ensure legal compliance. The course also teaches them strategic financial management, information technology. Not only this, we also teach them management skills to help the management to do business in an efficient manner. This makes our members a complete business solution provider.
Chartered accountants are considered to be a best visionary persons because they know how the things are being turned up and how it is not only within our country but across the globe. Holistically, they can visualize and they can understand because they have gone through their life or their understanding in a manner best of the intellects, best of the training and best of the analytical mind.
Chartered accountants are the people who play with the financial figures and they know the best analysis of financial statement because they are the preparer of financial statement and they are the auditor of the financial statement. And when they are playing role of both, so they term to be the best financial analyst.
21st World Congress of Accountants, known as the Olympics of the accountancy profession, is being hosted by ICAI from November 18th to 21st, 2022 at Geo World Centre, Mumbai. Being held for the first time in India, this is one of the most prestigious global events of professional accountants organized under the aegis of the International Federation of Accountants, where a conglomeration of 6,000 delegates from over 130 countries exchange views with other accounting and finance professionals from around the world.
If I'm not wrong, when you started your journey, as in professional career, you got the campus placement through the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. So please share some of those days with us.
Let me first share with you why I came in the chartered accountancy, because this is a totally different thought process. I was a science student in my 9th standard initially. If a topper of the school goes to commerce, then he will be totally stand out in the group and the commerce student.
Yes.
I think I would be the best of the lot. And this is how I switched from science to commerce in 9th standard itself.
Wow.
When I was doing in 11th, a practicing chartered accountant in Chennai, he was trustee of our the school.
Okay.
So he came once and he talked to us. I was fascinated in his talk. Fantastic, the CA chartered accountant. On that day itself, I thought that I'll become a chartered accountant.
Wow.
That was in 11th class.
So sometimes the words of the people who are practicing in the industry, it does leaves an impression on us.
Udaipur was not the center in those days when I appeared in, it was in 1980. My
Way
intermediate, way back, almost to 42 years now.
Yeah.
In the examination days, for first 3 days, I had acute jaundice. Just 3 hours for the examination center, that's it.
Okay.
That's what I could do because I was so weak that day. But still I appeared and I qualified in that attempt itself.
Wow.
Because my preparation, it was very organized.
Very organized, yeah.
I still say and recommend to people, those who are interested in the industry career, industrial training sponsored by the institute is the fantastic opportunity.
Yes,
So
because in that particular period, you are able to use your knowledge on practical grounds.
Absolutely, absolutely. One event I will always remember with the institute, this main office, when the final result was declared, it used to be published in the newspaper, no net, no phone, nothing. There was some kind of a hiccup, mess up, I don't know. So my result was withheld.
Okay.
So I had no option and
came
reached to
here
Delhi
only.
to the same office, examination, controller of examination section. Sir, result रुक गया, क्या हुआ सर, हमने तो बहुत अच्छा किया है. I won the top of the world. He congratulated me that Mr. Mehta, you are in the merit list.
Wow.
You qualified. There was some issue of a coaching certificate, so we have now located it. Everything is fine, and you are All India 26th in the final examination. And so I still remember that event of the institute office.
So, sir, how does it feel that जिस office में आप गए थे अपने इस exam के result के बारे में पता करने के लिए, today you also hold up your office in the same area. So how does that feel?
I feel so good that every day I pass to the institute's office.
Wow.
And number of times I tell my daughter, my son, my wife, this is the building from where I have qualified, this is the place where it has given me this kind of education, this kind of position, this kind of a career. So I'm
much
very proud of
gratitude.
it. Yes.
It's always being said na, that it's only two things that can make us or break us. It is attitude and gratitude. Your attitude towards your work and your gratitudes towards whatever you have received in your life. And so I would say that your journey is really a true example to that, because the way you are presenting your gratitude to the institute, it can show up in your eyes. I can see that.
Thank you.
As I asked you that you got the campus placement.
Yes.
So, sir, how do you see these kind of campus placements? If I ask now that a campus placement of Institute of Chartered Accountants of India can actually give a new direction to a professional's life, what do you have to say about it?
No, I would say that yes, the campus placement and campus interviews are very good, because they provide opportunity to a chartered accountant with the different organizations.
And you have options to choose.
Yes, yes. So these are fantastic and they should continue. In fact, in those days it was not there. It was the first time I think the institute started. But nowadays there are many. And at many regional offices. So it's a wonderful opportunity.
Yes. So you see yourself in an advantageous position other than the person who is not having this qualification of CA.
Yes. And the business, I mean, you are rated for everything in the value creation.
Yes.
Which is the currency is the value, is the parameter.
Bilkul.
And who understand the value of currency and value for money more than a chartered accountant?
The CA,
so that they
the money man, we can say.
Absolutely. See, when I do my business review, monthly review, and the people tell me, what is it? Do you have a super computer in your mind? This is what the advantage of a chartered accountant is.
Yes.
That you control the numbers, you control the figures, and you keep your eyes very, very sharp and focused on the values and the rupee and everywhere, wherever it makes a difference. See, as a professional, as an accountant, I must say that much more than an accountant, I'm a businessman.
So I can say that the word accountancy is now changed in your professional career as the accountability of profits.
Yes. Unless you have a right kind of and a decent profit, you cannot help people. You cannot help the stakeholders.
Exactly.
If you earn profit, you reinvest. Everywhere, unless you earn, you can't distribute.
Of course.
So you earn more and distribute more. That should be the philosophy.
Very nice. Wonderful, sir. So, here one question arises in my mind that as you were just talking about the plantation and everything else that you people have been doing along with the business that you are running, because the raw material for your output are the trees.
Yes.
So, when we say about a chartered accountant, so the training of CA, do you see that taking on the social responsibilities and taking on the sustainable development goals, do you see that these qualities are imbibed during the training of CA by the ICAI Institute? You see that a lot.
See, I would say that yes, when we talk about the curriculum these days, and in the 40 years when I did my chartered accountancy, there is a vast difference.
Yeah, of course.
But in those days also we used to talk about the corporate social responsibility.
Yeah.
And I would always say that as a chartered accountant, as a truly a business leader, I would think that unless you are responsible for the society and also the community, you can't sustain.
So basically it is adding up to the development of our nation.
Yes.
Sir, I would like to ask you that what would be your message to the CA fraternity who are like the current CA fraternity and of course the ones who are ready to join the fraternity now. So what would be your message?
See, I would say that you are a business partner. And once you play a role of a true business partner, you will become a businessman. You will become a business leader.
Yeah.
I mean, you need to think differently than a traditional accountant. I still remember, my name is A S Mehta. And I used to be called by accounting standard Mehta in those days.
Wow.
When I was an accountant. We need to be truthful to ourselves first and thereafter we need to be truthful to all the stakeholders.
Integrity becomes a very
It
important
is
part.
the highest level of integrity has to be demonstrated.
And of course, we all must remember that we need to lead by example. And once you are ready to lead by example, then as sir said that जो हमारी तरक्की है वो जरूर होगी होनी है. Now I can say, after having a look on your journey, that A S Mehta, in like those times you were known as accounting standards Mehta. Now I can say that you are accomplishment standards Mehta. So you have raised that standards for the people to accomplish the things in life. But before we bid a goodbye to you, here is a special segment that I call Shilpa Bhawana special.
Okay.
It's a rapid fire round.
No issue.
Profit sustainability and environment sustainability cannot go hand in hand. Yes or no?
No.
It can go hand in hand.
Yes, absolutely.
Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, it creates professionals who adheres to social responsibility. Yes or no?
Yes.
So sir, if I'll ask you one word for the qualification of Chartered Accountancy, what that would be?
I would say that the competent accountant.
Wow, that's a very nice definition to see. And one word for Institute of Chartered Accountants of India?
I would say that Compliance Institute of India.
Wow, beautiful. I have never thought it of that angle. And A S Mehta?
A stands for Amar,
Huh.
and Amar is again sustainable.
Wow.
And Mehta stands for accounting.
Ji.
Mehta's surname is those who were the accountants.
Okay.
So I am sustained
And
the accountant.
Wow, wow. So I can say that you are just meant for being a chartered accountant.
Yes,
sir.
of course.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you
Wonderful
so much.
talking to
Thank
you.
you. Thank
Such
you so
an
much.
interaction.
Thank
sir.
you so much.
Thank you. Friends, clear thinking requires courage rather than just intelligence. That is why we always say that clarity comes with action, not just with a thought. CA A S Mehta is in absolute action with his attitude of being specific, and such a way of working is truly trait of a chartered accountant. Promising you more such inspirational journeys on behalf of Committee for Members in Industry and Business, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, this is Shilpa Bhawana signing off for today. See you next time. Till then, take very good care of yourself. Jai Hind.